Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wild Wednesday, where we share words of wisdom. All right, now today we're going to be talking about we're in timeout. Okay, so you're in timeout. God has put all of us in a timeout scenario. Okay, there has been a pause button that has been pressed in our life. We've been going and going and going so much, we have lost track of the mission. We've gotten too busy. And God said, I need to put a pause in your life. I need to put a time out in your life because now you need to take a breather. Okay? You need to breathe in and out. You need to look around you. Look at what's going on around you. Listen to my voice. What am I saying? What am I showing you in the spirit? What are you sensing in your heart of what is going on around you? God says, time out. Time out, time out, time out, time out. I got to get your attention. I got to get your attention. And what a way to get our attention. We've been focusing on this pandemic. We've been focusing on the norm as we know it right now and what's happening. And a lot of us are still a little agitated about some things that are happening, especially with the school going on. A lot of us that have children, we're sensing this little anxiety and a little of the unsettlingness, and it's not the norm, and it kind of agitates us just a little bit because we're concerned, and we're also just trying to juggle this because it's more of a responsibility and a weight on our shoulders for right now. So for those of us that have children and families and all, and those of you that may even be in school, whether it is college or whether you were teaching or whatever you were doing, it's affecting you as well. So you feeling the weight of that thing. You sensing it, and like I said, God said, I need to put you in a timeout. Timeout, because you've lost your focus. You have lost your focus. What is your focus? What have you deviated from? Because you were on a path, and then you started adding this to your life and adding a little of this to your life and adding a little of that to your life, and now you just consumed with so much stuff. Some of us are so full of stuff that we just need to cut some things loose. We need to let go of some stuff. We need to throw away some stuff. We need to block some stuff. Come on now. We need to dismiss some stuff from our life, because the time out is a reflection time. It's also a time to breathe and catch your breath there, relax, chill, but also be aware and conscious of what's going on. Because we've talked about subliminal messages. We talked about how you're not woke in your subconscious, and how your conscious is always aware, but your subconscious, where the subliminal messages tend to connect to, has been asleep. So things are happening, and things have been happening in the world we just did not know about until now. Things are beginning to be exposed. This time out has allowed us to see some things that we didn't see in the spirit realm, because we didn't take time out to press in. We didn't take time out to consecrate ourselves, lay before the Lord and pray and cry out to him and read our word and all that good stuff, so he can unlock those mysteries and show us these revelations of what's happening and what's to come. It's thrown a lot of people off. They thought they knew what 2020 represented, and they gave all their little 2020 declarations in the beginning of the year, and only to see that there's been a monkey wrench thrown into the prophecy, a monkey wrench thrown into their declaration, tore them up, messed a lot of folk up. Some of them have departed from the faith. Let's be real. Some of them have departed from the faith. Some of them have taken a back seat. Some of them have just walked away from God. Oh my God. Some of them are doing that right now because it's getting critical. But God is doing the separation. He's separating the wheat from the tares. He's separating those who are really living and striving to be pleasing in God's sight. He is doing this separation from those that just want to live how they want to live. They in one foot in the world, one foot in the church. He's doing the separation, and it's showing. Those who really true, they're in their secret places. They're in their word. They're seeking God right now. They're in the hands of the Lord right now. These are some times God is really showing us who's true and who's false. Because see, when you go and you're so busy, you can't tell. You can't tell the difference. You don't know what's true or not. Everything seems real. Everything seems true. Anything somebody tell you is true. Oh yeah, okay, They'll give you facts and everything. It seems like it's the facts are true, but we believe in a lie. Because when we're dealing with man, we don't know whether they're being honest with us or not. You know, we put too much faith in the government. We put too much trust in people. And we don't understand that these people, some of these people are operating under the guise of Satan. They're being deceptive because they have exchanged hands with the devil. They're making deals with the devil to deceive the very elect, to deceive whoever, the masses, the people who are not awakened. So gotta be aware of this timeout. Timeout is not just for you to chill. Timeout is not just for you to just chill out. You know, even though it has been some time of chilling. But now reflection has to take place as well. Because just like you can be in a season of rest and you can be in a season where things are mellow, there will be turmoil coming. But if you don't prepare for the turmoil, just like the ants prepare, just like the bears, they hibernate, they prepare. Just like all these other animals that are they do what they naturally do because they know when seasons change. And see, God's trying to awaken our senses in the seasonal realm to know when seasons are changing. And the seasons are changing. Okay? Some of us sense it, some of us don't sense it. But God is beginning to awaken our senses. He's beginning to awaken us because He is stirring us. Because he has an agenda, just like Satan has his agenda. And we all have seen the news, watching different little things that's going on. And we see the agenda of the enemy and how he's trying to implement some things. But God has an agenda as well, his kingdom agenda. And that's what he's mostly concerned about. He will allow Satan to do whatever it is that he desires to do within his authority, within God's authority. So he will allow some things to unfold. It's getting closer and closer to the end days, the end times. I know people don't like to hear about that, but you see it. It's here. It's here. It's being set up. Satan knows that his time is drawing near. So we have to make sure that we are planning on making heaven our eternal home by getting ourselves together here. We got to get our business in order. You know, we can't be wrestling with whether we believe this or believe that. When all of our life, we know the truth, but we've been pulling away from the truth. We better get this thing in our heart. We better change our hearts. We better allow this word to minister to us and not just hear it, but be doers of this word and live this word. We want to make it. We want to see God in peace and we want to live with him eternally. So we got to make sure our business is straight here. We can't stress that enough. We got to live our life for Christ. We got to give our lives to him. We got to give our lives to him. It's just that critical right now. I've been talking to my kids. I'm serious about this thing. I'm talking to my kids, making sure that I keep them in constant remembrance. You got a life to live outside of this life. And you better make sure your business straight down here. You better make sure that you praying at night, asking God to deliver you, heal you, save you, touch you, read your word, establish a relationship with God. These things are important because twinkle of an eye, he come back, you don't have time to prepare. So this is our preparation time. Like I said, people don't like to hear about these kind of messages, but it's necessary because I think people stay locked into a certain season and think it's winter, think it's springtime all the time. Woo, everything looks beautiful, it's blissful and everything, but no, winter's coming. It's gonna get cold. Storms gonna brew. Fall is coming. So you got to be aware. Your spirit has to be awakened to what's going on. That's how we know about the time clock of God, when we know these seasons are changing and we know we need to position ourselves. Sense the urgency. It's time out, people. He's put us in time out. It's reflection time. Of course, he's wanting us to rest, but at the same time, we got to be on high alert because the enemy, Satan, desires to destroy us. He desires to sift us as wheat. He desires to deceive us. And deception comes in the form of a lie. And we have been told many lies lately. In government, everywhere, on both sides of government. You don't have to pick a side. It's on both. Okay? Because Satan is busy. All right? But God uses who he desires. So you have to be prayerful when it comes to things like government and politics and who to vote for, because these are the same people that are issuing out decrees. They're signing documents. We got to make sure we're putting the right people in office. If you watch the news and research and listen, a lot of things, those are a lot of things that we as Black people don't do. We don't research. We don't check out the policies and see what are these people in authority, what are they implementing? What have they signed? And since the urgency of these things, what's important to you? What's important? Your life, your liberties, your freedoms, your securities. A lot of these other things are minute in comparison to those things that I've just mentioned. Securing our borders, making sure you keeping the economy up and going. These things are important. Because we're in a certain class. They trying to depopulate, don't want a lot of us here. So there are so many evil workings going on. You can name a whole lot of stuff, but we got to know these policies and things that's been signed, things that are being released right now. Check it out. Look at the president, what he's doing right now. The things that he's doing that are important to us. Research this stuff. Research what Biden and all these folks are trying to do. Because that's when you get an understanding. You can't let nobody tell you who to vote for. I know I'm going off into a tangent right now, but you can't let people tell you who to vote for when you can go and research for yourself and find out about these candidates and find out what has Trump done versus what has Biden done, or who they're in connection with, and all this kind of stuff, so you will know what decision to make. And then let God minister to you concerning it. Take your feelings out of it, because it ain't got nothing to do with feelings. See, we very emotional as Black people. Take your feelings out. Look at the policies and the things that are being put in place. Look at those things. Focus on those things. That's what's important. I don't care about a personality or a figure. You see what I'm saying? That's just what it is, a personality and a figure. but what that personality or figure is actually doing in that office as they're signing documents, that's what's important to me. That's what's important to my family. And I make decisions based on that. Not about race, not about all this other stuff that they're trying to throw up here and trying to deflect our attention from what's really happening. You got to focus on the issues and what is actually going on in the offices that they are in. You know, forget the personality. Take your eyes off that. Look at what's being signed. Look at the document. Look at the track record. Go with that. You know, and when we're talking about all these issues that concern God, you know, he does not, he's pro-life. God is for life. There's so many things that we look at when you're making decisions. You cannot turn a blind eye to stuff just because you got a favorite party. You got to go with where God is leading you. Go with where he's leading you to cast your ballot and do it, because our lives won't be affected by the decisions that we make. You know, God will step in and he will have mercy, of course. But what I'm saying is, we got to know who we voting for and who we desire to see in the offices, especially those that are really enforcing those biblical principles and life, liberty, the securities, pursuit of happiness, those kind of things. So I'm sorry I got off on that tangent, but we're in timeout, you all. Recognize the season that we're in. Make sure that you communicating with God. Keep that communication line open, because he will reveal to you what you need to do. What's your next step? Where do you need to go from here? Where do you need to clean up in your life? What areas in your heart, your mind, your spirit, your soul? So let's do that, people. This is our Wild Wednesday. God bless you. I love you. Carry on. We will be back for another Wild Wednesday. All right. Bye-bye.